Hey everybody, Mo Friggin back again. Good to have you back. Glad to see ya. Got another video today in my Black Button Lock series. Today we're looking at a knife from what I pronounce as Ketuo. K-E-T-U-O. Google tells me it's pronounced Ketuo. I hear some people out there pronounce it Ketuo. So if I'm saying it wrong, let me know down in the comments. This is the Griffin. Let's get this show on the road. All right, what we have here is the Ketuo Griffin. This one's in G10 14C28N. Let's get it out of this box. Magnetic clasp, very nice. We got some paperwork. We got a cleaning cloth, stickers. Look at that. Nice little case there, packed in so nice. What a nice little gift box that is. Get it out of the plastic. We have G10 here. It looks like we have some shred carbon fiber inlay right there. Let's come in there and get a good look at that carbon fiber inlay. What we have here is a black button lock, but it's a button actuated liner lock. Let's see if we can see that. It's in the front. So it's like our other Ketuo knives where you could actuate it from the front if you'd like. And there's fairly good access there. And you can see that when we depress the button, it moves that liner over. There it is right there, moving over, unlocking the knife. This one is a designed by David Jin, made in China. I think it's very unique styling. On the back, it says the name of the knife, the Griffin. You don't see that very often. And it has a little Griffin symbol that goes with it. Ketuo symbol on the pivot there. Filler tab, reversible pocket clip, lanyard hole. On the back, milled clip. This much sticking out of the pocket, so definitely not deep carry. So all our deployment options, back flipper, a front flipper, and an opening hole. So let's try the back flipper first. Very snappy. The closing, awesome. Let's try the front flipper. Not best front flipper person, but there it is. And then lastly, the thumb. You can whip it out with the hole or you can reverse flick it. Look at that blade. Harpoon, very pointy drop point, generous sharpening choil area there. Is there enough room for your finger? There's enough room for your finger there. There's also a spot there. That flipper tab is not too intrusive there. It doesn't grab in your finger. That's nice. We should get more flipper tabs that are flat like that so you can actually put your hand over them if you want to. A little bit of jipping right there on the back. Nice little spot there if you want to grab up there by that harpoon. And then right there, a huge handle. Full 4-finger grip plus if you have extra large hands, you're going to be able to get on this knife no problem. And it's drop shut. Very interesting knife. We're going to have this in 14C28N. They do their HRC about 58 to 62, so right in the middle of the road. Toughness of 9, edge retention of 3, corrosion resistance of 8.5. So very, very tough. You're getting 14C28N for its toughness, much more over its edge retention. 3.54-inch blade. I'm hoping that in Colorado, if I ever get in trouble, they're going to say, oh, we'll round down to 3.5. If not, I'm in big trouble because it's actually just a hair over 3.5 inches, but I think I'm going to be fine. Look at that right there. To me, it looks like it's 3.5. I think I'll be okay. Handle length, 5 inches. Behind the flipper tab, 4 inches, lots and lots of room. Total length, this is a long knife, 8.5-inch knife. We have a black stonewash blade. They don't call it DLC, probably not PVD. It's 5.10 ounces, so pretty heavy knife. It runs on bearings. Let's pull out some comparable knives. Just real quick, we have this Griffin. They put a little symbol on there for the Griffin because it's a really cool name for a knife, is Griffin. We know what the Griffin is, mythical creature. It's got the head and wings and claws of an eagle, and the body and tail and hind legs of a lion. Represents power, guardian, protection. And it makes you think, it's pretty freaking cool. How did they get that name? What other names are available? Dragon taken, Centaur taken, Pegasus taken, Medusa taken, Cyclops taken, Unicorn taken, Phoenix taken, Mermaid taken, Minotaur taken, Gollum, precious, taken, Banshee taken. What is left? Here's some super random ones. A squonk. It's a crybaby from the lumber woods. This is an American mythical creature. Guess what? Taken. A leshy, another mythical creature. This one's Slavic. It's a forest spirit. Taken. What is left? We don't have much. We have a South African mythical creature called a impundulu. This is a vampire bird. You can have your knife named the impundulu. That one's available. Probably my favorite one that's still available is the Karkinos. It's basically just a crab. Karkinos. That's the last really cool knife name from mythology that's still available. I called it. Nobody else can have it. Karkinos, meaning crab. Bring out some comparable knives. Just for size, I brought out the 8010 just because it's another really long knife that I own. So there it is next to the 8010. Here's one I recently reviewed. Here's the Spartan Blade Soter down here. This one also kind of has a harpoon shape. These ones are very similar sizes and shapes actually. So there you go. If you want this styling with the harpoon, blacked out, but this one has almost like a crossbar lock in the way that the action is, but it has a coil spring on the top. So if you like that style of lock, here's this one. Tenable Fenrir, just because it has kind of a harpoon style blade, but it is a bit smaller. Lastly, I have an oldie but a goodie, another button lock from Kizer. This one's the Dogfish. Kind of has a harpoon style blocky shape, so I brought that one out. If you want something a little bit smaller, you can grab this one. This one actually is in 154 cm, so a little bit upgraded steel there on the Dogfish. Also has a reversible clip with a cool little filler tab there that you might have missed on this Dogfish. If you want a full review on this, let me know down in the comments. I think there's some on sale at Kizer. All right, let's see how this one cuts. Cuts out of the box. Yeah. All right, let's go over, do some cutting, and then we'll come back and sharpen it up. All right, I already started on the Ketuo Griffin. Let's just keep going with it. Thick blade stock, so not super slicey, full flat grind, almost, 3/4 flat grind. Choke up position, there's lots of room for my finger choked up here under the finger choil. Lots of space to get my finger up close to that blade, so it's pretty comfortable actually. Not a super slicey blade, so not super fun. I really don't feel it slowing down at all. This is doing great, 14C28N. Well, I'm stopping it there, but it's still actually doing okay. That's a big pile. I'll have you take a look at it and we'll go back over to the table and sharpen it up. Got it cleaned off after the cut test. Mark up this edge with a Sharpie and we can see what angle they gave it to us at. I say above 25, unacceptable, below 25, acceptable. So we set it to 25 degrees. Right at 25. Let's drop it down to 24, 14C28N. Let's go down to 23. We can reprofile a bit on 14C28N. I feel like the tip's moving around a lot. I'm just gonna give us a little more bite. Perfect. Generous sharpening choil over here. And you're gonna get a long life out of this guy as far as the sharpening choil goes. But also, as Stasa pointed out in one of his recent videos, that you also have this whole area here that we can get material caught when you're cutting. But the fact that you can fit your whole finger in here and stop material from getting in behind that spot, it's already thinking hard about a burr. Let's flip it over to the other side. No thumb stud, generous sharpening choil, fairly straight edge, not a ton of belly. It just makes it just really easy to reprofile and sharpen on a fixed angle system. Already getting a burr right there. We got to get a burr on the other side first. Let's just finish up the other side, get a burr over here, and then we'll be done when we flip it over and get the burr on the other side. This is 220 grit if I didn't say that already. And I'm just removing the burr on this side because you already know at apex because there's a burr on the other side, right? And I'm just evening out the sharpened edge width. Yeah, like it should have been a burr almost instantaneously. Let's see how the sharpened widths, they look good enough, equal. I'm gonna do an intermediate step. I didn't do the 400 step last time I sharpened. We're just gonna do a 400 grit in here before we jump to the 800. We're already apex, we don't need to form another burr. Technically, we're just refining that scratch pattern, 20 to 30 passes. We don't need to form a burr. Why am I keep checking? I don't know. Just force of habit, I guess. You can see that edge polishing up in the light. Okay, now we jump to 800 grit. This is typically when I see the edge starting to get a little mirror on it. Seems like it is reflecting the light quite a bit. 20 to 30 passes, we'll flip it over. When I first, you're not gonna believe me, but when I first start on a new side, it might be the burr, but I'll see a little puff of dust come off, like a little string of dust. Like maybe that's the burr scraping off, or maybe it's just the top layer that's coming off. I don't know. Now I'll do the ceramic cone. I messaged WorkSharp and I said, what do I do when I can't get a good grip with your clamp? They said, just try your best. And I said, what if I just use like an electric sharpener? And they said, well, why don't you practice on a cheaper knife till you get a good hang of sharpening freehand on a electric sharpener? And I said, that's smart. Thank you for reminding me not to just go straight to trying something new with my $280 knife. Pretty shiny. Do the strop, 2 micron strop. Why are you 2 micron? I don't know, that's the one I got. I thought that was a good number, but I guess they go down to 0.1 if you really want it to be hair whittling, and I'm just not ready to spend the 22 bucks on a stropping compound. They say it's easy to sharpen 14C28N, and it really is. Compared to MagnaCut or M390, it really is easy. There is an ease of sharpening with something that has less edge retention, but you're sharpening more often, so you gotta balance that out. See if it cuts. Ugh! Initially painful and burning skin discoloration on the plantar surface of the left foot of a child who put her shoe on and crushed a millipede. Oh, this goes back to my last video where are millipedes poisonous? Looks like they are. laser beam. So if you like the aesthetic of this knife, like this Rebel Alliance kind of blocky texture knife, you're really gonna like this Ketuo Griffin. It's got a great grip. If you like a real pokey blade, you'll like this. If you like multiple deployment options, you're gonna like it. If you like multiple lock disengagement options, you're gonna like this. If you like something less than $100 that has a button actuated liner lock, you're really gonna like this knife. Good reverse flicking, but it's a little intimidating. I would say this is the kind of knife that my wife watches me looking at online and says, should she be worried? That would say to me that this is less good gift, maybe a medium gift level because of such high threat. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking to the end. Like and subscribe. Appreciate you being out there, guys. If you like this video, I think you really like this Venture V4 video. Or if you think that this kind of styling is cool, the Spartan Blades Soter knife, this one over here. That's it, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Farewell.